Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for today, September the 10th, and begin the walking. Yeah, that's right, the tanks are going out for some cardio, because, as you can see, they're just running all over the joint and doing nothing. It's like watching Lord of the Rings in slow motion. People walking here and then walking there. Oh, we've got to walk to a river. Oh, we've got to walk to a mountain. Let's walk through the mountain. Let's walk over to this pit. Anyways, absolutely love Lord of the Rings. I make fun of it, but the book's better. That's why. Moving on to Stage 2. Stage 2, corner base. So Frodo and Sam strap on the old knapsacks and elven leaf cloaks and work their way through to somewhere where there's actually some action for 5 minutes, like an orc battle or something. I don't know. Now I realized while I was editing this, I threw some smokes and I kind of smoked my tanks into where I wanted because, well, I do stuff like that and I didn't even really think of it. And then it dawned on me, if people are really low level, they might need actual help with that. Because I don't know if you'd even have smokes available. So as a quick alternative to the smokes, if you don't have them, throw a shock down on those buildings. Really, it's the sniper tower and the cannon that you're going to want to throw your shocks onto because they're the ones that are going to chew up your tanks. The other ones, really, you don't have to care about them that much, so, well, don't care about them. Alright, numero 3. We're going up the right-hand side again for a nice big long walk. Make sure to flare your tanks back together or your troops or whatever you happen to be landing because you definitely want them to follow that very rightmost edge. If you start drifting over to the left, there's a boom cannon laying in wait and just bad things are going to happen. And if you come up to the top here, as you can see, one shock can take out that whole cluster of 5 defenses there, so you almost get like a freebie. Now, I threw critters down at that rocket launcher just because I was like, well, I'm going to blow up the rocket launcher. If you don't have critters and you can't just throw critters at it, by all means, whip out the artillery and barrage. As you can see, mine remain unused. So, hopefully, it will all balance itself out. And you'll take out 3 and move on to 4, which, in true fashion of 4s lately, is a little tough. And it's not so much the boom cannon. The boom cannon only has 7.5 thousand hit points on it. It's the 24,000 hit point regular cannon that does 3 times the damage of the boom cannon sitting right next to it that's a little intimidating. So if you drop your tanks down in the corner where I dropped mine, you can kind of clear through all of this not really scary defensive tank food and build up a little bit of GBE, hopefully enough that you can throw down some damage on those 2 poor cannons. Even if you can't take them out, if you can just build up enough GBE that you can shock them for an extended period of time, that would be completely adequate. Because you're gonna want your tanks to end up pretty much where they were. So if you throw maybe a couple of barrages and artilleries, you're able to take out the boom cannon, but not the big insane cannon. Just make sure you keep yourself some shocking GBE. Roll right up there, flare all of your tanks right onto that monster, and just blow it up. Should be pretty easy. Hopefully it's doable. Worst case scenario, if it's not, like, switch over to all Zooka. All Zooka would probably do okay. You'd have to worry about that rocket launcher, but maybe keep a couple of tanks just for good measure. And then I kind of decided, you know what? I've been sitting here and watching this for several minutes doing absolutely nothing. I'm landing all of the medics. I don't even care. I just wanted to see them scurry through the whole level. So, but you don't, if you have medics, land them with your tanks for sure, but if you don't worry about it. Alright, stage 5. I don't know how to feel. It's a pretty tough stage 5, but I feel like it's not a big step of difficulty up from the 4 we just did. So the first step to taking this level out reasonably safely is get your tanks up to these boom cannons. Make sure that you throw the smoke closest to the boom cannon first and then the one in the middle, because that way your tanks will come out of smoke first, everything will target your tanks, and then your medics will come out of the smoke nice and safe, and hopefully you'll save yourself a little bit of heartache. The good news is a couple of shocks will take out this whole cluster of 5 defenses here, and you should be able to kind of blow them all up before any of your tanks take any real sustained serious damage, which is a good thing because your medics are going to be struggling to keep up once you start getting into this area. There is a lot of sniper towers, and I'm not going to lie, if you go left hand side, if you look, there are 3 or 4 boom cannons still floating around over there, and they are absolutely doable, you know, if you've got the GBE for it. My concern was you'd have to throw artillery and barrage on all these different targets. They're really spread out, so if you're a little bit lower level, you don't have that GBE available because you don't have those statues, then coming up from the right hand side the way I did, hopefully with the shocks, it saves you some of the GBE that you can then use later on say the boom cannon that was right behind the HQ. It's now just a carcass over there by the rocket launcher cannon and machine gun, but like, you know, that way you can spread it out. Also, if this cannon starts pestering you like it started to pester me, you can just throw some artillery at it, blow it up, and have enough GBE that you can deal with some things as they kind of come along. Now, stage 5 down, if you've done it, you've gotten this far, whip out your happy-go-lucky loot stick because you're going to be able to take out stage 6. Stage 6 is one of those walk-in-a-park miracles that happen every once in a while. I don't know, I guess maybe one of the guys at Supercell had his birthday and decided, you know what, we're throwing these guys a present. Now, there are the 2 boom cannons there. You are going to have to blow them up. Fortunately, there is some stuff out at the landing that you can just kind of let your tanks wander in and blow up. And as you notice, I only landed the 2 boats and 1 boat of medics, the same as I did for stage 5, because I was like, wow, man, really, guys? Now, yes, I took out all of those mines with 1 critter box because I've got max critters. If you've got lower level critters, you may have to throw 2, or you know, you might have to kind of accommodate with maybe a barrage over on this sniper tower so that you can blow up some buildings and make your life a little bit easier. Now the good news is, when you do finally get up to this corner, 1 shock on that machine gun will take out all the defenses on the left. So you can use some GBE, blow up the defenses in the middle, or if it's easier to call it that, the like southeast of the HQ, or maybe 5 o'clock, 4:30ish, like however you want to figure out where these defenses are. And then once you've taken out all that stuff, go down into the very far south end bottom corner, and as you can see, your tanks are going to set up shop. They're going to start blowing up, and like there's not even a freaking rocket launcher that can reach you. I felt bad for my medics, so I tossed a medkit, and then I realized, hey, why did I do that? Because, my gosh, insanity. So with the extra GBE, I thought, hey, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to start blowing up some defenses. It'll do some damage to the HQ, and if I blow some stuff up, I can throw critters, which, you know, I always enjoy throwing to help speed things up. And then I found the rocket launcher. But that's alright, because with the few critters that actually survived, it is enough to do the damage that I needed them to do. And as you can see, stage 6 goes down so that I can fill my pockets with Dr. T's money. I also wanted to protect said noble critters, so I threw the smoke at the end just to make sure nothing shot them. You know, critters have families too. Alright, moving on to stage 7, and I know what you're thinking. With a stage 6 that easy, stage 7 is going to be a nightmare. Oh my god, what are we in for? Well, actually nothing too horrible. Yeah, it's really honestly pretty good. So, shock launcher to the east of the HQ, blow it up. I know, easy, right? There is also a boom cannon to the, I guess, northwest of the HQ. You're going to have to blow that one up too. The good news is, after that, it's all of the important things are already down. It's purely optional on what you decide to blow up. I suggest not doing flamethrowers or machine guns if you're rolling with tanks because, well, that would be crazy. Those are free kills. But if you wanted to, say, soften up the sniper towers or throw some barrages so that they'll hit some of the mines because you have really low-level critters, you know, there are a lot of options and you are welcome to take them all because 4 artilleries on that little pack and blam, they just all disappear. And I'm going to warn you right now, right as that tank hits the actual... excuse me, boom mine, watch out for the boom mines. They do a mountain of damage. They're well over 5,000 damage per boom mine. So if you can, throw artillery or critters or whatever you need to throw to take those things out before they take you out. Anyways, from here it's pretty straightforward. You kind of let your tanks spread out. You can get a little extra GBE and then flare everything in nice and tight just to the southwest of the HQ. It would be like, I guess, 6:30 or 7 o'clock. And what that's going to do is it's going to keep you out of the range of the boom cannons on the right-hand side and far enough south that the stupid shock launcher that's pestering my poor troops right now won't have range on you either. And from here, there will be a sniper tower and, you know, obviously a rocket launcher shooting at you. But nothing that your medics shouldn't be able to handle as you burn down the HQ and get your pockets filled once again with some nice easy Dr. T loot. Anyways guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful, hopefully this has been entertaining, and most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day.